Hi everyone, hello PreK family. This is day one of our virtual learning. So I hope you all are well. I'm so excited to be a part of your learning as a whole school family with every classroom. So I wanted to share a little bit of the social emotional learning that we will be doing for the next several days. And hopefully we'll eventually be doing this live with each other. But my role right now is to teach you through a video. So you'll see me every day, and maybe this little girl right here, this is Chloe, and she will be sharing some moments with me as well. So right now what I would like to do is just read you a story about things that may be happening right now and all of some of your feelings you may be having. So the first part of what we're going to do is we're going to read this book right here, and it's called What is Coronavirus? So many of you may have been hearing a little bit about this, or a lot, and I wanted to read this little story so you may be able to understand it a little bit better. So we're going to turn to the first page, and hopefully you can see this pretty well, but it says the coronavirus is a virus that can make people feel unwell. The coronavirus can also be called the COVID-19. So if you can see those pictures, you'll see a few little kids there that are coughing, or maybe having a fever, or maybe sneezing, or sweating. People who have the coronavirus may have a fever, a sore throat, a dry cough, or maybe even having a hard time breathing. So that's usually what happens with people that have that. Most people who have the virus will stay at home and get better. They'll just stay at home and rest like we normally do if we're not feeling well. Some people who have the virus will have to go to the hospital to feel better, and they'll do it that way. Some things you can do at home, which I'm sure your mom and dad have told you already, is you can stop the spread of germs by washing your hands with soap and water. So that's very important to keep doing while you're at home. You can take time when I wash my hands and making sure I wash between my fingers and over my hands. If I can't use soap, you can use hand sanitizer. So this is actually a great way to do also your math activities, to count to 20. So that's what we're saying, to count to 20 while you're washing your hands. Or you can even sing the ABC song, and that should get you to about 20 seconds as well. So that can be a fun activity you can do. Sorry. So here on this picture, there will be no school for a while. So for at least 14 days. I didn't put a number there, but it's probably going to be 14. It may be a little bit more. So we're just going to leave that blank for now. But for right now, we're not going to be in school for 14 days. School will hopefully reopen again. So we can keep our fingers crossed that it will be open sooner than later. So you'll be staying home while you're at school. You'll stay home instead of going to school. Then you will be learning at home instead of at school. So that will be very different, and we're going to talk about ways we can help each other during that time. This picture says, I know I will be safe, and I don't have to feel afraid. So sometimes we do feel scared and all, but we're going to teach you ways to help. And a lot of you already know what to do when you feel scared or sad or angry. But we're going to start talking a little bit more about that, just in case, just to make sure you didn't forget your skills. I will be safe and happy at home with my family. So there are families that can be at home and still be happy, even in times of trouble. I will not be able to go to my favorite places. Once the coronavirus is gone, I will then be able to go to my favorite places. So a lot of times right now, we cannot go because it's not safe. So the safest place for us to be is in our homes and maybe in our yards when the air is fresh, or right beside our family. So those places will absolutely be there once the virus is gone. So that's just a little book right here I thought I'd share. Parents, I would recommend, if you do listen to the news, which I'm sure many of you do, if you could do it in a time when your child is not in the room, just because it is a little overwhelming, obviously, for them. And what they hear and how they interpret things, we're not always sure, but it is a little bit of a scary time right now, so we want to make sure we're cognizant of what we're doing and what we're listening to when we're with them. So since we're not together, we need to wish each other well. So that's one of the first things we're going to do while we're here. So many of you know what wish well is, and I have our little wish well heart, and in there are all of our school family. So in all of the pre-K. So we have Mrs. Bennett's school family, we have Mrs. Garish's school family, we have Miss Marcella's school family, we have Miss Patty's school family, we have Miss Potter's school family, Mrs. McGinn's school family, and Mrs. Lemke's school family. So we have every one of you in this heart, and we are wishing every one of you well. So what we're doing is we're going to do a wish well every day, and because we need help right now to we're not in school, we're not able to go back to school, and so many of you want to come back. So we will be here wishing you well as your teachers, and you can wish each other well. So what we do when we wish well is we open up our hearts and we send our loving energy, which is inside us, out to others. So what I would like to do is all of you, we have everybody in the heart, and I also want you to, I'm going to take a pause for a minute, and I want you to think about other people you want to wish well right now. And you can shout them out to me, and I can feel them. I can feel you guys saying them. I can't hear you, but I can feel you saying them. I'm going to pause one more minute and just shout out everybody you want to wish well. Even parents, go ahead and shout out who you would like to wish well. So again, we're going to take our loving energy inside our hearts and put them out to everybody in the universe, everybody you would like to wish well. So we are going to put our hands on our heart like this. We're going to take a deep breath. And we're going to sing our wish well song. Everybody ready? All right, here we go. We wish you well. We wish you well. All through the day today, we wish you well. Take another deep breath. You got this. You got this. Way to go, guys. All right, so what we're gonna do is, life, like I said, is a little crazy right now, and we need ways to be able to calm ourselves. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna, again, work through this every day of different ways of doing it, but today we're just gonna try to be a star. And everybody remember what that is? Tell me if you remember, and I'll wait a minute. I know many of you know what it is to be a star. You're right. Smile, take a deep breath, and relax. Okay. So remember, when our minds get crazy, even as parents, when we need to calm our minds, we need to take 3 deep breaths to turn off that stress response in your brain in order for us to calm our body. So it's really important to fill up that diaphragm, fill up that belly with that air in through your nose and out through your mouth. So if we could all be a star today and our first day of virtual learning, we're gonna get through this. I know we are together. We got this together. So we are gonna take a deep breath in through your nose and then out, blow out through your mouth. Okay, breathe in through your nose, fill up your belly with air. And then out through your mouth. Okay, Remember to keep our shoulders down one more time. This is number 3. Here we go. Breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth. Okay, so our goal today is when you're feeling really distressed and having a hard time understanding all of this stuff going on today with your family and your siblings and your parents, remember to be a star. And if you find your parents or your siblings having a hard time, remind them to be a star as well. You got this. You can handle this. Parents, on a side note, on the lesson plan, I did send you a little link there to the Conscious Discipline website, which tells you a little bit about the 5 helpful responses for families to help you during this time. I will be taking chunks out of that along the way to help you, but it may be worth just looking at when you have a moment. I know it's really hard. You don't have a lot of moments right now. From all of us to all of you, we wish you well, and we are doing the best we can for every one of you guys. And we remember all the great things that we were just doing as a class, and we're not going to forget them. All right? Bye, you guys. See you tomorrow.